Hey, so I wanted to show the latest project I've been working on called Havok. Havok is a bridge between Docker and Vulcand. Vulcand is an HTTP proxy written in Go that uses from Mailgun that uses etcd as its backing store. What Havok does is Havok listens on the Docker event stream, and as containers are created and destroyed, it will dynamically add upstream hosts and endpoints to the Vulcand configuration so that they can be reached from the outside world. So the project is open source, and there's usage instructions on how to get this running for local, but for this we'll show a quick little demo. So here I have 3 EC2 instances. The first one is, they're all just Ubuntu 14.04 running Docker. So the first instance here is Vulkan. You can see it has 2 containers running. One is etcd, and the other is Vulcand. And on the other hosts, there's nothing running on each one. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll launch Havok on each node. So the syntax, you can see all the details in README, but basically it binds, you pass in the Docker socket, you give it the etcd machines that it's going to be used to store the configuration. You pass a host IP, which is used so that the Vulkan proxy can communicate to the containers. You give it a root domain. This will be the domain suffix for all of the containers, and then you pass it in a names regex that Havok will use and will only create upstreams in Vulcand with for containers that have names that match that regex. So we'll go ahead and start Havok on each one of these. You can see we're going to have it running. And if we check the Vulkan configuration, we see there are no hosts. So what we'll do now is we'll launch some containers. So we will, we're going to use Michael Crosby's Nginx container. We're going to pass the container a name. This name will be used to create a unique endpoint in the Vulkan configuration. We're then going to pass a host name to this container. This will be the prefix portion to the root domain suffix that Havok uses. So if we launch this, we can see that now we have a host, which is going to be the prefix portion, so it's the host name, which is Nginx dot the root domain. It'll automatically create a location as well as an upstream and then a single endpoint that is using that container image. So now if we throw some traffic at it, and I've noticed that it does take sometimes take a second to fire up the first time. And if we check traffic, we can check and see that it actually is taking requests. So on the other node, we have Havok running. We can launch another container. We'll give it a unique name so that it creates a new endpoint. We can see there are now 2 endpoints, each pointing on listening on different hosts, automatically added. And then if we throw some traffic at it again, we should see those start to load balance across the nodes. So, whoops. Okay, let's try this. And now we can see that each one is taking requests and it's load balancing between them. So we can continuously add. We can add some more, and see that the endpoints are automatically added. Throw some more traffic at it. Let's actually throw some more traffic at it. And now we can see that each is taking requests, and it's load balancing amongst all of them. What Havok will also do is we can then we can stop these, and if we stop the container, we can see that they are also automatically removed. So we can add and remove these as needed, and the configuration is automatically updated. So yeah, back and forth. And then if we remove them all together, as you would expect, the host is gone. So yeah, that's Havok. So if you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. Thanks.